Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you all things TCG. My name's Preston. I'm here with Sam. Say hello.
Hello, we're back talking about One Piece, my favorite.
Yeah, there were some huge tournaments in the last few weeks, and Gen Con, for lack of better pronunciation, had a ton of big tournaments.
hmm
So we wanted to jump in and talk about a few of the decks that we saw pop up. I believe these are both winning decks in one of the like three events we got from Gen Con. So.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Set three is obviously much different here in the West and the East, with obviously the hits to Whitebeard Pirates specifically. So we wanted to jump in and see what we have here. The first place that we're going to cover is Zoro. This is Jackson Huang. I'm going to give it my best try. It'll be in the description down below. He goes through all of his options and a lot of his reasoning. Very well thought out video. And shout out Orange Samurai for posting it on his channel. All the links will be down below. But we did fast forward and make the list in dev. And we wanted to talk about it. And the first thing we're going to notice is this is the normal zoom in that I always do. There's a lot of cards, a lot of one-offs in this list, and this might be what Red's looking like for set 3 here in the West.
Yeah, red is very tech heavy right now,
hmm
and especially with those restrictions that you were talking about. We're getting a lot of one-ofs, and just throwing in random cards that we weren't really playing. Like, I'm seeing Brook here from set 1.
hmm
He gets tossed around occasionally, but really, like, when do you see this Brook? It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Vista's another card that has fallen pretty much out of favor. But it's here again. Gordon's another one that we definitely don't get to talk a lot about on this channel. Even some of these events, Diable Jambe, I don't think we've talked about since set 1 maybe. But, you take away these really consistent, powerful cards from Red, and they're able to audible into all of these wonderful tech cards. It really just shows how deep the pockets and how deep the bag is for Red, that they're still able to pull off these crazy good wins.
Yeah, and that's something that I believe a commenter made in the last Whitebeard video that we talked about, which was Red's still going to do good because of the disparity in good cards. And
Yeah.
it's true. There's too many good cards. Like Vista can fall out of favor right now, but it's still going to be around. And like maybe this deck plays 2, but another deck's going to play 4, or they'll play the Robin that does a very similar push at least. But this deck is interesting. It plays a lot of one drops, so Dadan has a ton of targets,
hmm
and some of the one drops are really interesting tech stuff. Like I've seen Zoro's playing them. This name, Magara, um, as not only an option to swing because everything swings in this deck, but also it boosts the rest of your board significantly.
hmm
Um, Anything from your buggy that's gonna like search out one of your mini event cards, or giving a double target with the Makino and something else. Like the deck is just swinging constantly. So I can imagine playing any other deck into this and just being so annoyed trying to clear the board turn after turn, where they can play like, let's say I clear the board with whatever I'm playing. The next turn with 5 Dawn, they've replenished and they're ready to go again. Or dropping a rush and then like so annoying. It's I'm not even talking about how annoying these event cards are either.
And that's a great segue, because I was definitely going to talk about that next. I think a lot of these common Zoro lists are Izo and Nami. Izo's the one that'll probably always stick around. Marco is way too good of a card to ignore in red. But they chose Buggy as their second search option, which opens up this wonderful tech door. In the video, he mentions Buggy being a 3K, making it a very easy attacker for Zoro. It gives Dadan just more targets as well. And there are really cool events here. Fire Fist is something that has definitely been talked about recently here. This event card definitely switches the gear and the tone of the game. And having access to it in a deck that typically doesn't have space, but we cleared a lot of these Straw Hats out, for lack of a better idea. We're not playing the Zoros. He mentions those get cleared very easily. So the focus is Marco. We have the event cards to dump for him, and it seems to me like the centerpiece of this specific list, and it works. It really just the card disparity in colors really coming to light. We take away 3 of their best cards, and Red doesn't care. Red doesn't care.
Yeah, they lost 9 cards out of their deck, and they're like, "Great, I have space for more things. This is amazing."
Literally, and we're not even talking about the boat they lost last format, and this
That's
deck is
true.
still just running rampant. And I guess we'll see what happens next. What's the only way? Maybe we just ban the leader, but Zoro gets to do it still.
Yeah, I
Tough.
mean, you could get rid of the Marco that hasn't gotten hit. I don't know if that hurts them still because like this deck isn't playing any of the vanillas that Whitebeard plays. So you could always drop in vanillas. I mean, you could always play the Zoro to get that little boost if you needed to. This pilot didn't think it was necessary, but it's an option. So even if you completely got rid of the 9-drop Newgate, you just play Shanks, I guess. I don't know. Like there's just options, and it's annoying. Red's not going anywhere, and we can see that in the next deck as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this winner posted it on Twitter. We got his list again. It'll all be down below. He talks about it a little bit in the comments, so reach out to him if you have any questions. But we built the list in dev like we normally do, and again, we're seeing a lot of individual cards. And to be honest, this doesn't look too far off from a lot of Whitebeards that we have seen. Obviously, the difference is the counts. But it's just really shoving down the fact that, Red has these options. We're playing a 1-drop Sanji because we can. We have a little more room for these event cards that have this really good utility. Crossfire is a card that we typically only see in Ace. But we have space for it now, and it's a very, very good card. Very good card for clearing these really annoying large drops that are plaguing our current meta. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, there's some interesting like choices like 3 Atmos, 1 Speed Jill. Uh, it's just a different face, but it's the same card basically. They both have 1K counter. They're both Whitebeard pirates. Just a different face, another card. And then this deck is playing King Do. I've seen King Do for the most part. I feel like has fallen away, but it's another like I was saying in the Zoro deck. It's just another option.
Mm-hmm.
And then with those restrictions that we're going to talk about until they change, you get Fosa, which like I think we talked about in the last Whitebeard, it was non-existent up to this point. But Thatch, we're getting more Ace now. We're getting one of each of the limited cards because if it's limited, you might as well play it. I mean, it's good enough to be on a list. You might as well find space for the one of.
It's the classic
Um,
Yu-Gi-Oh logic right there.
yeah, it's a staple now. It's a limited.
No, you're right, and I think the interesting thing here is the big boss the vanilla guys. I think their counts constantly changing is due to whatever really the meta throws at them. King Do is very unfortunate, I think, for the crocodiles that have been popping up. So I think that's probably why we're at 1. I don't think we're as sad if we send an Atmos away. But Thatch obviously dodges that. It dodges some of the other ones that we've been seeing, like the event card that Blue plays. So Thatch goes up. So there's a lot of cause and effect here. And again, just adaptability, the card disparity, whatever you would like to insert here, we just have the options to play it. Same thing with Whitebeard Pirates. This card was thought to be a little slow when the set came out, and we weren't really playing it. But with the meta slowing down a little bit, we have room for this guy. So just adaptability, and red players and Whitebeard players are getting very good at it, and other colors are going to have to find ways to try to wiggle in.
Yeah, the annoying part is that the red archetype plays through all of these sets really cleanly, while like blue gets a new archetype every set.
Yeah.
Like it just the play style is changing too much on all the other colors to build up to something.
Right.
Especially our poor leaders in purple, just not ever getting a chance to succeed. While every red leader has multiple serial Luffy's under their belt at this point. So I mean, Ace might only have one, but still, like it's something that will both be really excited to talk about, but also be really sad that it hasn't changed.
It's at least it's changed in deck building wise, you know.
Right.
There's that excitement. At least it's a little different from set 3 where everyone was playing near identical lists,
Right.
near identical same 4 leaders. The one sad thing about this is poor Ace really caught the biggest stray, because I don't know if we're going to see very many aces without all of those option cards being available to him.
Mm-hmm.
But red is going to continue adapting, so we're going to have to step it up other colors. Figure it out. Now, at least the game is, we're seeing other cards from the previous format being printed, like 3 or 4 cards in the next set for the previous archetype. So hopefully we continue this, and other colors get better universal cards, for lack of a better idea.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
But that will do it for this coverage of Meta Monday, guys. Thank you. If you are still here, please consider doing the YouTube things, like, comment, other set 3 leaders that you think will make an appearance. The meta's still early. We have a couple months. Any other ones, Preston? You got one that you would like to see?
There was a Magellan in top 16 in one of these events. Yes. It needs to keep going up. Let's go.
Let's go purple. I love it. Yes, Magellan. I want to see that list. But thank you, guys. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Na, na, na. Shout out Magellan. He always makes the cut.
Yeah, this Zoro player needs to pick up Magellan. I think he can do it.
Maybe if all the good red players committed to purple, we could do it.
Perfect. That's exactly what we need.
Open rebellion.